Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Chauvinistic Travelers. Today we have come up with a new video on the Colosseum of Rome. We have just exited from the Colosseum station and you can get an appealing view of the Colosseum. The Colosseum is an elliptical amphitheater located in the center of Rome, Italy, to the east of the Roman Forum. It is both the largest ancient amphitheater ever built and the largest standing amphitheater in the world, despite its age. Vespasian gave the order for building the Colosseum in 72 AD, and Titus, Vespasian's successor and heir, gave the order for it to be completed in 80 AD. More modifications were made under Domitian's tenure. The amphitheater was given the name Flavian Amphitheater by subsequent classicists and archaeologists because it is associated with the Flavian dynasty. This is the exterior look of the Colosseum. Visitors are swarming around the entire area. The Colosseum was built from travertine limestone, tuff that is volcanic rock, and brick-faced concrete. It was used for public spectacles like animal hunts, executions, recreations of famous wars, plays based on Roman mythology, and hastily staged naval battles in addition to gladiatorial competitions. At various times over its history, it could accommodate somewhere between 50,000 and 80,000 spectators with an average crowd of roughly 65,000. In the early medieval period, the structure was stopped being used for entertainment purpose. Later it was utilized again for things like homes, workshops, religious order apartments, a castle, a quarry, and a Christian shrine. Despite substantial damage from earthquakes and stone thieves stealing spolia, the Colosseum is still a well-known image of imperial Rome and was featured in the list of the new seven wonders of the world. Every Good Friday, the Pope leads a procession known as the Way of the Cross that starts close to the Colosseum and is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Rome, having ties to the Roman Catholic Church. The Colosseum is depicted on the Italian 5-cent euro coin. We are currently undergoing the security inspection. Please make sure that you don't carry any sharp things.
just don't stop there. Don't stop. Never stop. Okay, guys, get close to us. Forward. When I finish, you have times for doing this. This is the main entrance for the royal Caesar family. From there to the Holy Cross in 1 minute is inside. We have here the concept of the Air Force One. We are just on the back side of the podium here. In the movie, you watch this stuff several times. Everyone has to see the Caesar face, the imperial. Why? It's no more holy God, it's someone is modern, okay? This is very important. And then you have to know the stadium was a sort of the place decorated inside this gallery. They use the pumice stones. It's very important because decoration inside to celebrate the glory of Rome. Jupiter, Zeus, is the maximum power level of the gods. So this represents the period, the Caesar. I'm like Zeus, I'm like Jupiter. And that's it, we have it, straight. And we have a public toilets. They collect the pee, because in the pee there is ammonia acid. Okay? And now, before to give you 5 minutes for picture and photo or whatever you like it, the place was a pool, a big pool. That's why they try to make oval shape. It was the most famous place in the world.
The location of the Colosseum was a level area at the bottom of a small valley between the Salian, Esquiline and Palatine hills. In this valley, there was also a man-made lake and a canalized stream. The area was populated densely by the 2nd century BC. After the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD, which completely devastated it, Nero, the last Roman emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, took control over a substantial portion of the region in order to advance his own empire. He immediately built the lavish Domus Aurea, which was encircled by porticos, gardens and pavilions, as well as a man-made lake. The massive bronze colossus of Nero was erected nearby at the entrance to the Domus Aurea, and water was brought into the area via the Aqua Claudia duct. The Colosseum continued to exist despite the Domus Aurea being largely destroyed. The Flavian Amphitheatre was reconstructed there when the lake was filled in. In close proximity on the old site of the Domus Aurea, gladiatorial schools and other support structures were built. Vespasian may have erected the Colosseum on the site of Nero's lake as a populist gesture to reclaim for the people a section of the city that Nero had taken for himself. The Colosseum was constructed inside the walls of Rome, putting it in the city's geographic center as opposed to many amphitheatres which were on the outskirts of cities. The luxurious treasures taken from the Jewish temple were used to pay for construction after the First Jewish-Roman War in 70 AD that led to the destruction of Jerusalem. The widely accepted belief that Jewish prisoners of war were returned to Rome and assisted with the massive workforce needed to build the amphitheatre is not supported by any historical evidence. However, it might have been compatible with Roman custom to worsen the defeated population. Along with an unlimited flow of unskilled work, teams of skilled Roman builders, engineers, artists, painters, and decorators also took on the more specific tasks necessary to build the Colosseum. The Colosseum was constructed using a variety of materials including wood, limestone, tuff, tiles, cement, and plaster. Around 70 to 72 AD, during Vespasian's reign, work on the Colosseum began. By the time of Vespasian's demise in 79 AD, the Colosseum had been finishing up to the third story. His son Titus completed the top level in 80 AD, and the first games were held in 80 AD. Nearly 9,000 wild creatures perished during the first games held at the amphitheatre. A coin was issued to mark the inauguration. Under the reign of Vespasian's younger son, the recently proclaimed Emperor Domitian, who constructed the Hypogeum, a system of tunnels designed to house slaves and animals, the building underwent extensive alterations. He also added a gallery on top of the Colosseum to increase seating capacity. The wooden upper levels of the Colosseum's interior were completely destroyed by a large fire in 217 AD that severely damaged the structure. According to Dio Cassius, the fire was started by lightning. It wasn't completely fixed until around 240 AD, and then it needed some more work in 250 AD and again in 320 AD. In 399 AD and again in 404 AD, Honorius outlawed the practice of gladiatorial combat. The last time gladiatorial combat is mentioned is around 435 AD. The Colosseum may have undergone renovations during the reigns of second Theodosius, and third Valentinian to repair damage from a significant earthquake that occurred in 443. More work was carried out after that in 484 and 508. In the 6th century, the arena was still being used for competitions. Animal hunting persisted at least until 523, when Anicius Maximus celebrated his election as consul by presenting King Theodoric the Great with some Venetians that he chastised for the extravagant price. Later, the arena was turned into a cemetery. It is known that houses and workshops were still being rented out during the late 12th century in the numerous vaulted spaces in the arcades. In the year 1200, the Frangipani family took control of the Colosseum, repeatedly strengthened it, and utilized it as a palace. Early to mid 14th century, Rome experienced a population decline as a result of the Pope's relocation to Avignon, which made the area insecure. When the ordinary public mostly left the Colosseum, it became a favorite hangout for bandits. The Colosseum sustained significant damage following the great earthquake of 1349, which led to the outer south side's collapse since it was built on less dense alluvial soil. A significant portion of the tumbled stone was utilized in Rome to construct palaces, churches, hospitals, and other structures. Inside the amphitheatre, a sizable percentage of the stone was removed, recycled, and burned to generate quicklime. The iron clamps that held the stones together on the walls were pulled out, leaving numerous poke marks that still hum the structure. The Colosseum is presently one of Rome's most popular tourist spots, drawing millions of visitors annually. Due to the effects of pollution and general deterioration over time, a significant restoration program that cost 40 billion lira was carried out between 1993 and 2000. The Colosseum has come to represent the global movement against the death penalty, which was abolished in Italy in 1948. In 2000, there were a number of anti death penalty protests held in front of the Colosseum. Since then, the local authorities in Rome have changed the color of the Colosseum's nighttime illumination from white to gold as a protest against the death penalty. Whenever a person who had been sentenced to death anywhere in the world had their sentence converted or granted parole, or whenever a jurisdiction eliminated the death penalty.
এইটা হবে আমি একটু নিয়ে আসি
After Connecticut, an American state, abolished the death penalty in April 2012, the Colosseum was last decorated with gold in November 2012. It is impractical to organize huge gatherings in the Colosseum due to interior decoration. Only a small number of people may be seated in makeshift seating. Even bigger outdoor performances using the Colosseum as a backdrop have been proposed. The Colosseum has lately hosted performances by Ray Charles, Paul McCartney, Billy Joel, and Elton John.
নিচ থেকে নেওয়াটা দরকার
Vado a questo momento cada uno di mare,
The magnificent facade of the remaining part of the exterior wall consists of 3 stacked stories, a pedestal, and a tall attic. There are uniformly spaced windows in each of these buildings. The arcades are framed by half columns from the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian orders, and the attic is decorated with Corinthian pilasters. The statues on the second and third story arcades were framed by each arc, probably meant to glorify gods and other figures from classical mythology. The actual arena was 83 by 48 yards. The word hypogeum, which means underground in Greek, referred to a complex underground structure that was covered in a sand-covered hardwood floor. Emperor Domitian gave the order to construct the hypogeum, even though it wasn't a part of the original structure. While the most of the original arena floor has since vanished, the hypogeum may still be clearly seen. Before competitions, animals and gladiators were kept in a 2-level underground network of tunnels and cages. Elephants and other huge animals have access to hegmata, which are larger hinged platforms. Through 80 vertical shafts, locked animals and hidden scenery species had direct access to the arena. Its 12 distinct building phases indicate that it has undergone several structural changes. The Colosseum is now a well-known tourist attraction in Rome, bringing in thousands of visitors yearly to explore the interior arena. The building's outer wall's top floor now houses a museum with an Eros theme. Part of the arena's floor has been renovated. In the summer of 2010, a network of underground passageways beneath the Colosseum that had formerly been used to transport animals and gladiators to the arena was made public.
Originali di una strada romana. Basalti sono. Perfetto, grazie Marco.
I love these.
We have came out from the Colosseum and now we'll be moving towards the underground metro station to go back to our hotel.
Thanks for watching our video. Hope to see you soon on our next vlog. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel.